Oh, hey everyone. My name is Lindsay Korstad. I'm the school counselor at Jewell, and I thought it might be helpful to share with you some tips and tricks for school success, but most importantly, your sanity as parents and guardians of young children who are in school learning from home, doing distance learning. So, here we go. Okay, yeah, let's go to the next thing. Okay, so first of all, your mental health is primary, and that directly affects your kids' mental health. So that is an important thing to think about. It's like the airplane analogy where you got to put the oxygen on you first before you put it on your kids. Because if you're stressed, your kids are going to be stressed. And everybody's stressed right now. That's fine. That's okay, but you have an opportunity to model to your children and to the children that you're responsible for effective coping skills, and really just doing your best in a very difficult situation, and resiliency and perseverance. And some validation would be great. I'd like some validation, please. Have grace with yourself, telling yourself you are doing your best, and your best will definitely look different. There have been days where my hair has looked like this, and I'm like, you know what? That's what we're rolling with today, because today might be one of those days, because that's just what all I have to give towards that today, because I have so many other things to think about. Okay, so just having grace with yourself and understanding that this is a really challenging, difficult time on so many levels. Kindness to yourself first, and then kindness to others around you, especially the kids that you're responsible for, because it's really hard for them not to be in school. Kids love school. I mean, a lot of kids love school. Not all kids, but most of our children would like to be in school right now. And it's hard not to see your friends and not to see your teachers and not to do fun activities at school. So let's just kind of give our kids a little bit of a break too. Okay, self-care. We all hear, oh, self-care, self-care, self-care. What is self-care? So I kind of broke it down for you, just some like the bigger points of what self-care is. Often I ask myself, is this self-care, or am I just procrastinating from doing the things that are on my to-do list? But it always is self-care. It's definitely always self-care. It's never procrastination. It's always taking care of myself. That's right. So it's really helpful to connect with and be around positive people. Everybody, well, I don't know if everybody knows this, but grumpiness is very contagious. It's almost more contagious than COVID. When you're around a negative person, that gets to you, that negative energy. So being around positive people, connecting with them in whatever way that you feel is safe, whether it's a phone call, texting or something like that. Getting outside, getting some fresh air, having some fun, whatever that is to you, maybe playing cards or just stretching, going for a walk. And then body and mind, it's so important that we first take care of our physical beings, because that has such a great effect on our mood. When I eat ice cream the next day, man, I'm just not as nice, because ice cream is so sugary and delicious. And so on one hand, it's self-care, but on the other hand, I know that will affect my mood. And I still do eat ice cream, and I just have to be aware of that. So yeah, eating well, sleeping enough, appropriate screen time, drinking tons of water, and getting some exercise. Exercise releases endorphins in your brain that make you feel happier, that help relieve stress and anxiety. And then having healthy boundaries for what you're agreeing to provide or what you're agreeing to do for yourself and other people, what you're willing to take on, and then healthy boundaries with the people around you. And that's a really, really tough one that we could maybe talk more about at another time. But if you're interested, just do some research on creating healthy personal boundaries, especially when we're at home a lot more, around the same people all the time. Sometimes just people's feelings get really mixed up. So it's helpful to sort of break apart somebody else's feelings and your feelings with some healthy boundaries. Manage your expectations. I will not cry today. My child will not cry today. That's probably an unrealistic expectation. Crying on the daily is okay. So thinking to yourself, I'm only going to cry once today. My child is going to do this task that maybe they didn't do yesterday, not all the tasks and perfectly without crying and frustration. So really managing and expectations and thinking about the small little wins. Like my son did his writing assignment and he didn't yell at me. Yay! Ask for help. It's really hard to do because, us culturally, we want to be individual and we want to take care of everything ourselves. But, we have to do this together. It's a little cheesy, again, to say we're all in this together. That phrase kind of it's getting a little old for me, but it's actually true. We're a community and we really have to help each other out. So if you need help, if you feel like you need some counseling support, that's part of my job, is not only to connect students and with counselors outside of school, but I can help families navigate that too. Takes a really brave and honorable person to ask for help. And remember, your feelings constantly change. Sometimes when we get really stuck in some negative thinking or some just those icky feelings, we feel like it's going to last forever. But as we tell the kids, our feelings are a roller coaster going up and down. So if you're doing the other self-care stuff, then hopefully your negative feelings will change to positive, and they might come back again, but that's kind of the way that it's going right now. Again, giving yourself some grace.